So a couple weeks ago, iDubbbz made this video, Are You Scared of Immigrants? I actually reacted to this video on stream, gave some surface level commentary, but I've been thinking about it a little bit deeper lately. As some of you may or may not know, I live in Canada, okay? I am the son to a first generation immigrant, and I have some opinions on Canadian immigration and the state of Canadian housing and all the other inflationary issues that we are facing as a country. I know, you're probably so saddened to hear that your favorite YouTuber is a Canadian. In all thy sons command, listen, when I hear the national anthem, okay, I feel like I am a young boy in church once again. And believe me, I believe that my country, okay, the country that I grew up in, that I was born in, all right, a country that my dad came to as a first generation immigrant, I think it is beautiful. I think it is amazing. And I think there's a reason why a lot of people want to come here, okay? And I think that people should be allowed to flee their terrible, shitty, buttfuck countries and come to mine. But I have some problems with how it's been done lately. Now, in iDubbbz video, he is pointing out TikTokers that are both documenting and commentating on immigrants coming into European countries and essentially spreading their culture rather than spreading European culture. Now, iDubbbz is a pretty good encapsulation of the feelings of the average Canadian, okay? Now, I'm sure the British can agree with this. I'm sure a lot of countries that are being ravaged by immigration, whether through refugees or illegal immigrants or whatever, okay, I'm sure a lot of people can kind of agree with what I'm about to say. But doesn't it feel like you have no control over what's going on in your country? You know, there's a lot of people coming to your country. There's nothing you can say or do about it. Like, as a Canadian in my country, I feel like iDubbbz, okay? I'm sitting down in this chair, okay, and I'm just watching it happen. I have no control, and I've changed my Irish last name from Washburn to some unrecognizable foreign shit, Jomha. Now, we're gonna get into some real arguments in a second, okay, about why immigration is a bit crazy and it's gotta slow down, all right? But before we do that, I like to analyze the delta between what a country is becoming, what it wants to become, and what it is expressing as its advertisements for tourism. When you're telling another country's people that you want them to come visit your country, what are you trying to show them? Now, I've got a couple of ads I want to show you, one from 3 years ago and one from 2 months ago. Let's watch both of these.
Take a journey to a place outside the ordinary, to Canada, where wide open spaces are waiting to greet you.
So we've got some nature, okay, we've got some clean water, we've got some white people, okay?
Where people you just met say, it's nice to see
So everyone on screen so far has been white.
you, and welcome you to their favorite spaces and iconic places.
All right, we got a black fella, we got some Asians, that's what I like to see.
So when you say
Showing off the true diversity of Canada.
goodbye, it's like saying
Some native stuff going on, which is awesome because the natives have some really cool clothing, cool history. We love to see it.
bye to family. That's when you know it's more than travel.
And by the way, we showed some shots of Toronto, a notable lack of a certain something that is very present nowadays.
It's Canada. We can't wait to see you.
All right, so that's one tourism ad. Let's see another one. And by the way, I'm not being racist. I'm describing to you what Canada, by the way, this is Destination Canada's official YouTube channel. I am showing you what they are showing the audience, which is prospective tourists that want to visit Canada. This is what they're showing. This is what Canada's all about. And so don't be surprised if it looks a little different when you show up.
Question: who are we? What makes Canada, Canada?
Hockey, native people, white people, black people, snow, like, okay, cool.
As a country, we're pretty hard to sum up. And not just because we're really, really, really big, but because we're home to people like this, and also this guy. Seriously, look at this guy. Does he need help? But there's one thing we have in common with each other and with the land we call home. We are open. Not just open for business. No, we are open for business. And not just open to visitors. I mean, we are, but it's more than that. We are open as a people, open as a way of life.
Are we noticing a lack of something? Are we noticing anything that is not being shown? All right. We are trying to advertise bringing people in to come hang out, you know, spend some money, do some tourism, find out about Canada. And we're not showing some stuff, okay?
In Canada, we celebrate wide open spaces. We embrace new ideas. We welcome our neighbors in more than one language, like this one and this one. We open our hearts to anyone who comes with an open mind, to those who want deeper, more meaningful travel experiences, to those who choose.
Now, again, I'm not saying that tourism is everything, okay, and the ads that are contained within it. When Canada is trying to sell itself as a destination for tourism, there's something that we don't want to tell people, okay? There's something that we're trying to erase and not exactly show off, something that we might be a little ashamed of. But then, okay, we're ashamed of it when we want to tell tourists to come in. But when it comes to our own people, our own citizens, this is something that we're not ashamed of. It's not something that's an issue. And in fact, if you think it's an issue, you're racist. Now let's discover a suburb of the GTA, Brampton, Ontario. Let's have a look at this little clip here.
And it's like a mini India.
Yeah.
There are too many Indians here.
We're Canadian, we're multicultural, but come on.
If we're going to their country, we will have to adapt to their culture, right? They should do the same thing here.
Well, I do feel like I'm a stranger in my own country.
Now, again, let's be clear. These are clips of individual people offering their opinion, but obviously they're selected, right? This might not be the opinion of everyone.
80% visible minority. That means it's more than 80% non-white. Well, you break that data down even further, you start to figure out where everyone who lives in Brampton comes from.
Oh, so it's not just people's opinions. It's statistically backed that everyone that lives in Brampton is Indian. I'm not necessarily saying that this is bad, but what I am saying is that you're putting a massive influx of people and completely changing the cultural makeup of a town. Now, it's not just a town issue, okay? And it's not just a culture issue. That is a big deal, and it will affect the way people feel, especially when they're installing massive statues like this in your city, okay? It might make you feel a type of way. One of our biggest issues here in Canada is housing. The fact that we don't build houses, and the fact that we have so many fucking people that have come in that housing prices are fucking inflated, okay? Most young Canadians have no expectation of ever buying a house. Couple that with the fact that stories like this are not uncommon, okay? I've never heard of 25 students in one basement, but I've heard of 8 living in a room, okay? I've heard of that. The supply of housing has not changed much, but the demand has increased to an unmanageable degree. You have people renting houses for monthly payments that would have been mortgage payments just 8 years ago. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sleepy, you're dumb. You're so silly. Don't you know that like immigration is important because you need to keep increasing the productivity of your country in order to pay for all of the expenses of the older people that are dying or going on social aid? To that I ask, where do the old people fucking lose? So we've got these people coming in, all right? They're gonna help pay for their social security, all right? That's great. That's important. But we're not increasing the amount of houses we have. So the old people that are most likely to be owning the houses, all right, the people that were buying their houses back in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s for fucking pennies on the dollar compared to today, right? They're able to rent out those houses, own those houses, and perhaps even sell those houses at insane profit margins. And we're worried about their social security. But a young person buying a home, hit the brakes, pal. Okay, what are you, retarded? We gotta worry about the boomers. Now, again, that's just housing prices, okay? It's very simple, supply and demand. Our supply has stayed relatively the same. Our demand has increased insanely. Now let's tackle the culture issue, okay? Normalize spreading European culture. I agree. We should normalize that. I know that's not what he's trying to say here, but just go with something as a Canadian you should consider about shifting demographics, okay? Something you should consider as a Canadian is, you know, these politicians, all right, they're gonna succeed more and more. All right. If you see them wearing this type of garb, okay, there is a populace that is growing that relates and associates with them. You know, there's a reason why our prime minister at the time, glorious Justin Trudeau, there's a reason why he's wearing this bullshit. All right. And I'm just going to be honest. I'm calling it bullshit. I don't fuck with this. Is that offensive? Is that fucked up? I don't fuck with this. This ain't drip. This sucks. I don't fuck with the drip. Take it off now. Put on a suit and wear a poppy. You know, the tough part about this image, you guys don't know this. This kid right here, his name is Zav Trudeau. He is now a rapper. So anyways, I just think it's a little funny. Importantly, let's back this all up. Let's back this all up here, okay? These new immigrants, let's just call it what it is. They're outbreeding us, okay? They are outbreeding the black Canadian. They are outbreeding the white Canadian. They're outbreeding the Arab Canadian. They're outbreeding the Italian Canadian. We can't keep up, all right? These motherfuckers have they have not had their breeding abilities nerfed, okay? All of us have been nerfed, all right? All of us can't do it. They have the breeding buff, and we're getting fucking out demographicked, okay? A, we keep importing them. B, they have babies, bro. What are we gonna do? People are seeing their country become unaffordable, whether it's housing, whether it's food prices, whatever inflationary thing you want to talk about. And they are also seeing it demographically shift. And whether or not you want to accept it, okay, whether or not you want to say, well, no, they're just like us, okay, they're just the same, they're going to have their own interests. They're going to vote for things that they care about that you probably don't. They're going to vote for things that they like that you're probably not okay with. And now that we have a massive number of this group inside of the country, this group has babies at a higher rate than essentially any other Canadian group. You're going to have politicians that have to appeal to them more and more. So yes, iDubbbz, to answer your question, people are scared of immigrants, and they should be. Politicians are going to appeal to them more and more. The buying power of your money, your ability to live in an affordable home, it will continue to go down unless things are changed. I understand the perspective of saying, I want all humans to have the same opportunities. I want all people to be able to get their chance to prosper. But when it comes at the cost of my ability to prosper, when it comes at the cost of my neighbor's ability to prosper, it incites frustration. Things are supposed to get better. And for most Canadians, they're noticing things getting worse.